Hello and welcome to Why So Sidious, a nerd podcast where we travel from a galaxy far, far away through Asgard into Atlantis and wherever fandom may take us. Here we discuss our favorite properties, whether it's the comics, movies, TV shows, novels, and anything nerd culture. Today we're discussing She-Hulk. Yeah, just the new chapter for the MCU, so let's jump into it. I definitely like the show more than some of the Marvel things that have been coming out lately. But let's start with our dislikes. I definitely have more positives, but let's get the bad stuff out of the way. Not a fan of the fourth wall breaking. It works for Deadpool. I don't know if it works for this, but we'll see how it plays out. They didn't do too much of it. From the beginning, her getting her powers felt really rushed. At the same time, I'm kind of happy we didn't need to spend too much time on another Hulk origin gamma ray blood situation.
Yeah.
But it seemed pretty easy. I mean, he dripped some blood into an open wound, and all of a sudden it was just like, boom, it happened.
Yeah, I don't know. That was weird.
And then he explained it as they have a compatible genetic system, I guess. But so you're telling me if that was someone else, they would have just died of the gamma radiation?
It's exactly, yeah. If Hulk bleeds on anybody, they're just going to die, apparently.
Yeah, that's a power in itself. And just the extra scene from her walking to the bar, I felt like they could have easily went from the car crash scene to her waking up in Mexico. Not a big deal. I mean, the same thing happened. All she did was find her way to a bar, got into a little conflict, and then somehow passed out and ended up in Mexico anyway. Yeah. So all pretty quick. Another thing was when they had a little fight, and the car that she was driving somehow had the power to launch Hulk into boulders with enough power to break those boulders. I'm like, what?
Yeah, it's not how physics works, really.
Yeah. But yeah, that's about it. I mean, just little nitpicks, you know what I mean? The clapping thing was weird, how she just continuously clapped, and that kind of brought him down. Like, that was too much for him to handle, I guess. And
yeah, her version of the thunderclap.
And the biggest gripe for me was the last scene. Did not like whoever that character was that busted into the courtroom, and I didn't like the style of action with that. And the character herself, like, I just hope that that's not the kind of action we're going to see from She-Hulk throughout the rest of the show. And in general, I'm worried about the rest of the show, although I liked this episode. I liked it mostly because of Bruce Banner. And I mean, the Hulk himself, I think he really made the show good. So, yeah, that's about it. Did you guys like the fourth wall breaking thing, Caleb?
I guess that it is comic book accurate. That's something she does do in the comics. There's some pages where she like rips through the page and you can see like the writing. I was kind of taken off guard the first time it happened. I was like, okay, like she's just talking to the camera now, and this is how she's going to explain her backstory is just by directly talking to us. But it didn't really, I mean, and then it kind of set up her doing it again, you know, and then Hulk looks over kind of like, did you just like talk to the camera or something? Yeah. So it was kind of funny. It kind of threw me off guard at first, but it didn't bother me too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. I knew it was coming, obviously, and you know, as soon as they showed it in the trailers, I heard a bunch of times that she does that all the time in comics. So I get that, and I don't blame them for doing that. It didn't really. It was all right. I didn't love it just because, you know, maybe unfairly, I give that to Deadpool, and Deadpool just feels more of the character to do something like that. Again, she does it in the comics, so she quite literally is a character who does that too. But in my mind, I just see it as Deadpool. So I don't hate it, but I wasn't really about it either.
Yeah. Deadpool's quirky enough, and he's just like outlandish enough that it totally works in his movies. I just don't think it works for her. Even if she did it in the comics, you know, this is a movie. I mean, a show. So yeah, whatever. Dave, give me some other nitpicks you had with the show.
Yeah. So I will say that I did enjoy the episode more than I thought I would before I start giving it the dislikes. Just to clarify, I did enjoy it a bit more than I expected to. It wasn't amazing, but it was more entertaining than I thought it would be. But my one of my main things was that I just don't get why they wouldn't have done the origin in the comics. They got into the car crash, that's fine. Now have her dying and Bruce has to inject his blood into her to save her or whatever, just like happened in the comics. I just felt like really 2 drops of blood landed on her open wound. I get that. She just cut it open. She just cut it open on the metal. 3 or 4 drops, drop on her open wound. and she instantly, perfectly, without hiccups, turns into Hulk. The final form Hulk. I don't know. It happens so quick and easily. It just felt like there wasn't even a struggle. She looked down at her arm, and then it turned green, and she immediately turned into full form Hulk. It was just like, I don't know. It felt a little flimsy to me. I guess in the Incredible Hulk, he does have a drop of blood land in that soda in Brazil, and then they send it out, and some guy drinks it, and he gets gamma poisoning, and then that's how they end up tracking him down. So his blood has been powerful and like full of radiation or gamma radiation, but it just seemed a little flimsy.
And that some guy is Stan Lee, so please don't just call him some guy.
Okay, well, I don't know what his name was in the movie. You're right.
Well, it's a cameo.
R.I.P. Yeah. Old man number 3, played by the famous Stan Lee.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so another... I'll just skip to the ending real quick. Yeah, the ending was awful. I mean, the CGI was bad, the action was bad, the dialogue was bad and corny as hell. I know it was only like a 30-second scene, but my goodness, if that's foreshadowing what's to come for the rest of the season, yikes. Because that was just terrible. Yeah. I'm glad we got the end credit scene we got, because that was a terrible way to lead this episode off. Other than that, there wasn't a whole lot other than... So it was a little heavy-handed. Is a little heavy-handed with the whole men suck and I'm a strong woman thing. Like, I get it. I get that's kind of the point of it. But like almost every line she was dropping the fact that she has it harder no matter what because she's a woman. Which, again, it fit in. The line about the fear and anger and, you know, having to withhold stuff without being accused of being emotional and stuff. Totally get that. I didn't have a problem with that line at all. It just felt like every time they interacted, she would drop something else again about like him being a man, all the way up to the point. It happened like 6 times in like a 30-minute episode. And then the part I really had an issue was, though, is she keeps telling Bruce how she's basically like telling Bruce how her life is so much worse than anything he's had to deal with purely because he's a man. And that didn't work for me because homeboy Bruce has gone through some trauma, man. He got poisoned by gamma radiation, which absolutely ruined his entire life, his relationships, his love life, everything got ruined. And he's been wrestling with an insane alter ego on the inside of him for 15 years. He has accidentally killed probably thousands of people, if not just hundreds, accidentally from this rage monster that he's been infected with. He tried to kill himself, but he physically can't. Like, this dude has gone through it all, and she just is making this point of how he doesn't understand how hard she has it simply because he's a man. And I just felt like it was a little heavy-handed. Again, not all the lines, some of them worked, but it just felt like very heavy-handed for a 30-minute episode.
Yeah, I could see where you're going with that. It did work for me. I didn't think she wasn't really forcing it on the Hulk too much. She was just kind of explaining a lot of the hardship that I guess women can go through. Like the line that how she talks about how incompetent men would tell her about her area of expertise. Like, and that's not
that
even
scene was.
We've all met people like that don't know what they're talking about, but they still try to tell you what the truth is, kind of thing.
Right.
But yeah,
like every job you have.
From. Yeah. Caleb, you got any other gripes?
No, you guys summed it up pretty well for me. Just, you know, the backstory was a little rushed, and just how the blood kind of fell into her arm was a little like they just kind of made it happen. Seemed like, you know, because she got cut by the metal like 2 seconds before that.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, her arm got cut. We're gonna make sure you saw that. And then he's like, and then Hulk's like, no, move out of the way.
I'm bleeding on you.
I'm bleeding on you. Like, but yeah, overall I enjoyed it though. But one thing I did like how they had different views on being a Hulk. Hulk's telling her, you know, you have to be a superhero now. You can't go back to your normal life. And she's like, no, like I still, you know, like I have all these student debts to pay off, you know, and I need to go back to building this, or keep continuing to build this career I've been working on.
And she's just one personality. You know, he's got the two that he couldn't do that.
Yeah,
but she's not in the same situation. Yeah, that was good.
It was cool. They have very good banter back and forth. The two of them. It was good. Good comedy between the two of them as well.
Yeah, they did work out well together. I think this girl is a good actress too. Like she was really believable on screen.
Was it Tatiana Maslany? I think is her name. She was really good.
Yeah, I liked her. So let's go back to what caused the crash. The ship, dude, the Sicarian ship, which we got confirmed from Hulk himself that is a ship from Sakaar, and he actually mentioned it.
How did he remember?
Well, he was there for a couple years.
I think he retained
he's retained some memories.
Well, no, he was in that ship. Remember, he was Bruce Banner in that ship. They took it to Asgard. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah. Okay.
I'm just glad they addressed it. You know what I mean? Because we were all speculating during the trailer, and he straight up said it's a Sakaran ship, and they're probably coming back. Didn't he say they might be coming back to collect him, or at least figure out what he's been doing?
Yeah,
right.
He said they're checking up on him, and he'd have to deal with that later. But right now, which leads me to believe that's not going to happen in this show at all.
That was my next question. That's or
hopefully.
It's weird. You know, you don't know. Like I would say an end credit scene to this show, like would be the only thing I could see in it. Yeah, and there's nothing else. But then how would they kidnap this man? They could probably
just put him in some containment thing or
some inhibitor collar or something like that.
If they do that tiny taser that took out Thor and Ragnarok, I'm going to lose my mind.
Yeah. It is weird. I just don't see where else they could fit that in. Like Hulk, they don't have the rights to him. I don't know what project he's going to be in next. So we'll see.
Kind of a smart play. I mean, they can't go any further with it, but it gave us enough interest to be like, oh, they have plans for Hulk.
Totally. I mean, sounds like they might be getting the rights back to him. People think that they did the whole Planet Hulk thing already in Ragnarok, and I'm telling you, this is a smart Hulk now. That fits more into that story anyway, and they didn't do the whole story. Like, he takes over the whole planet in the story, you know what I mean? So imagine a smart Hulk, our Hulk now, getting taken back there, being forced to become a gladiator, but then figuring out a way to start a revolution like Korg was trying to do, and then taking over the planet.
That makes sense. I could see that.
Yeah, the only difference from the story is the Illuminati sent him. In this case, it'd be the Sicarians that captured him, which would give him more of a reason to take over that planet, saying, like, fuck you guys, why would you take me from my home?
That could be cool, man.
Yeah. But overall, I loved how this felt like an MCU chapter. Like, we've had so many different projects like Shang-Chi, Eternals, Moon Knight, even Miss Marvel, which was literally like a fangirl from all the Avengers and everything that's happened in the MCU. Even that felt like it was outside of the MCU because she was shoved in there just like a fan so much. Like, it still didn't feel like the MCU, whereas this felt like a real chapter of the MCU, an important character, an important evolution for the MCU itself. And I'm excited to see where She-Hulk fits into the rest of it with the Avengers or whatever ends up happening with that. And all the talk about Tony and Steve and stuff, all the explanation behind what happened during the blip. We finally got a little bit of insight into what Hulk was up to during those 5 years. So yeah, it just it felt refreshing. It felt like another phase 1 or phase 2 project where it just seems really important.
Yeah, I got that feeling too. It did. I mean, I thought Shang-Chi felt more like a nice addition to the Marvel thing and stuff. But I know what you're saying. It didn't really feel like the classic kind of vibe we were getting from the OG stuff. But yeah, I love the stuff they fleshed out for the universe in one 30-minute episode. Like they did some legwork. Yeah, I appreciated that.
And they did a good job building her as a character. Like, you really know what type of person she is. And
you're right.
And the Hulk backstory was really cool too. How Tony built him a lair in Mexico. Was cool.
Build him a bar too. I love that, where he was like sentimental about that.
And Hulk kind of has that moment where he kind of reminisces about Tony and looks over at the helmet.
Yeah. Pretty powerful moment. Subtle but powerful.
Yeah, it's done well.
Yeah. So, and I loved all the discussion behind their powers. Like when she first wakes up and they go to the lab and she turns into the Hulk. The surprise that he had when she came out of that thing and she still had her consciousness and she still had her wits about her. She didn't rage out and become a different person. She didn't have that Jekyll and Hyde thing going on. She didn't lose control of herself. She was just herself, just with the Hulk strength. So
Hulk's just stunned.
Yeah, he's stunned. And they portrayed that really well. He was like, he couldn't get over it for a couple minutes. He was like, so there's literally no one that you feel like is trying to grab the wheel right now? Like, this is incredible.
And how he has that giant binder that he's recording all of this. He wants her to read the whole thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, that was interesting. If he made this binder, it's obviously for other people, not for himself. He's figured it out. So just because
maybe when he dies, if he dies one day.
Yeah. But just because she didn't have that Jekyll and Hyde effect, he started tearing pages out, like as if that binder was only meant for her, which obviously he had no idea that was going to happen. But he just starts tearing out the pages of the binder. Like
he could have just turned the pages, right, and just skipped to the next spot instead of ruining the stuff he created.
He was upset.
A little rage started coming out. I mean, he's a scientist, so any experiments, he's taking notes, he's writing, he's recording everything he's doing. But I don't know why he would tear it up. Like that's info.
Yeah. Loved the whole yoga thing, especially the fact that he said, like, this is proven science now. It's not just some crazy Buddha stuff.
Dude, so on the subject of yoga and meditation, a lot of stuff, I've seen a lot of criticism, regarding the whole Hulk being nerfed since Incredible Hulk, since Avengers, which we all pretty much agree on. But when the trailer came out, I saw a lot of people like, oh, Hulk's doing yoga and all this stuff and meditating. Like, what the hell? Not my Hulk. A bunch of people. And I'm like, okay, again, Incredible Hulk. Yeah. Edward Norton was doing meditation in order to master this thing he's fighting. So the fact that he's doing meditation just means that he's figured it out, and it's called balance. It's how he finds, like, I just don't understand how that was the thing people were like complaining about. It's like, meditation, he did that since the start.
Yeah, there's plenty of things to complain about, but not that. I was actually happy with the Hulk in this one. Yeah, he's not the raged out Hulk, but this made it clear that he still has those powers. I mean, he tossed a rock into orbit pretty much. He did his freaking Hulk clap, whatever you want to call that. So I have a lot more optimism for the future of our Hulk character.
Okay.
And he wasn't trying to hurt her. He was just, messing around the whole time, and she was obviously trying to show off.
Yeah, he could go much further with that clap, I bet, considering the whole boulder scene. Yeah. Like, he either just killed somebody in Africa or somebody in outer space, but he fired that thing.
It took a satellite down.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah. So, I doubt he'll be in the rest of the show, though.
Because one of the trailers, she says, this isn't a cameo show. And then she goes, oh, wait, the Hulk, Daredevil, Emil Blonsky. And then there's one more. So it's like, okay, so all these people that are coming in are probably just going to be one episode each for each.
I would say Blonsky is probably one of the core parts, because
I thought Blonsky.
I think she said one episode. I don't know. She could have been bluffing on the trailer, but
I hope she is, because I thought he was like pretty, like you said, a pretty solid.
It could just be like a one episode thing where she defends his case and then he's out of there. I don't know.
It could be. Possibly, I hope it's not. But
he's going to be locked down for a while. I would bet he's not a cameo. Yeah, I expected him to be kind of a core part of the story. Like she would be defending him throughout the whole thing. But we have a lot to look forward to. Daredevil, Blonsky, like something about the Sokovia Accords. We're going to learn more of what's going on with that. Like there's actually a lot to look forward to.
There's something else too.
Who do you guys think the villain could be? Is there going to be a central villain to this show?
Great question.
I mean, maybe Val shows up, I don't know, but
yeah, right,
and starts like dealing with Abomination and all that. But as a full villain, I almost feel like it's going to be episodic, like you were just saying, Caleb, because I really don't know if it's Titania or whatever. I mean, I'm out. Oh no! Remember, the reports it's going to be the same thing as Ms. Marvel. Essentially, they're taking an obscure group from the comics and they're kind of putting a new twist on an obscure villain group, like the Clandestine. So not really a lot to look forward to there, but hopefully they do something cool with it.
Honestly, Skrulls would be cool. Just throwing it out there.
Dude, throw us a Skrull. Yeah.
Yeah, put a Skrull lawyer or something in there.
Yes, someone in a high position of power that you realize they've been manipulating things, and then there's
they need to start teasing that more.
Probably be an end credit scene. They're gonna be leading into Secret Invasion, so I'm sure at least one end credit scene will be one of the characters in the episode revealing that.
And then Noel shows up. Oh,
and Nova.
That's our Mephisto right there. Noel.
Nova. I hope they do tie some things. And if Blonsky is there, I wonder if they'll do anything going towards Thunderbolts, because he's rumored to be a part of the Thunderbolt squad.
Yeah, I feel like they have to. I mean, they might not, but I feel like they need to. Like, it makes perfect sense. You have him here. We're going to get the explanation with him and Wong, too. Wong's the other guy. Wong's going to be in the show. But we're getting an explanation as to what the hell they were doing in Shang-Chi. So,
yeah, why is Wong in some fighting pits underground?
Yeah, and is that why Abomination's locked up, or is Wong taking him on field trips? like
Yeah,
out of the
good
prison
point.
to go fight in Madrigal. Is that where it was? No, they were
Madripoor, you mean?
Yeah, that's what I meant. But they were somewhere else in that one, weren't they? Or were they in Madripoor in that movie too?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, man. I like this episode better than the Miss Marvel premiere, for
I
sure.
agree.
Much more. It was way more fun
invested.
to watch. Yeah. More invested. It felt more important for sure, but it was just more entertaining as a whole too. For me, it was a fun watch. Added the background to the universe, like we were talking about. The humor was pretty good in it. There were some kind of forced things, but overall, there's some funny scenes. Disregarding the last scene, the CGI and everything looked really good. They fixed a lot of the stuff from the trailers, I thought, at least for Hulk. There were moments where She-Hulk looked a little iffy, but Hulk looked really good. Yeah,
when she was talking.
Yeah, some of the phrases she had, it looked a little, but Hulk looked great, I thought.
Yeah, I was gonna say even the tone of her skin looked kind of CGI, whereas Hulk, you could see his little hair, like the pores, like his. They
have him down.
Yeah, and plus they had his CGI already locked in from other movies that they are going to continue to use, so that they could even touch up on and make it perfect. But that was pretty damn near perfect. Like he looked real.
Yeah, I think the muscular tone helps too. Like I feel like the shadow and everything coming from his big ass muscles compared to She-Hulk, where she's just smooth arms and everything. So the smoothness kind of makes it look a little bit more.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, a little off.
It's funny how she got a hangover somehow, but in my mind, I'm thinking like, why didn't you just like revert back to the Hulk form to metabolize the hangover?
Well, no, that's what I don't understand. Yeah, he said so.
But she
their
wasn't
blood
in Hulk
metabolizes.
Form.
That's why she had the hangover.
I'm guessing.
But she has the same blood.
I know,
he said their blood metabolizes alcohol fast. But I was even confused by what he said. Says it metabolizes it faster, so you get to drink more. And then he said, all buzz, no barf. But then in the morning, she said, oh, but you didn't tell me there was still a giant hangover that came with it. And he kind of just laughed. So I'm thinking, okay, so you still get hungover and you just have to drink way more to be drunk? That seems like a negative to me, if anything. Or I would rather be able to get drunk quicker.
Yeah, right? If she was in the Hulk form, though, wouldn't her hangover just go away?
Yeah, that's why I didn't understand that. I was like, okay, I no longer understand the benefit Hulk was bragging about. If there's still a hangover,
you just Hulk out for like 30 minutes, hangover over.
Yeah,
I guess. Yeah, it was interesting.
Well, honestly, I mean, we kind of summed up the whole episode. Do you guys have anything else to throw out there on it?
I do have a couple comedy lines when he says Natasha would tell me a lullaby sometimes.
Yeah,
it's pretty funny.
Tell me how that worked. I can't explain that.
Yeah, like, and then the Bing Bong reference when she says, "Put a Pixar movie on."
I've never seen it.
Oh, my wife will always hold that against me because I did tear up in that scene. When
I heard it's emotional.
Bing Bong makes his sacrifice to save him at the end. You know. And, it's a good scene. It's a good movie. So underrated.
Okay.
And the post-credit scene was hilarious.
Hilarious. Like, great way to end it. Great way.
Oh my God. Like just that ass shouldn't have been a virgin.
I knew it. Wait, are you not drunk? Captain America, fuck.
Yeah, they cut off the F-bomb just like Spider-Man Homecoming. Loved it.
Yeah, that's the fourth time. They did that with Nick Fury in Infinity War. Aunt May did it at the end of Spider-Man. They
Nick
all
Fury
in the middle.
Infinity War?
Yeah, he's at the end credit scene for Infinity War. He's getting snapped. He's trying to send the pager and he goes, "Motherfucker."
That's right.
And then it cuts off. Aunt May says it when she sees Spider-Man. Spider-Man does it. Yeah, that's the fourth one they've dropped an end credit scene, cutting it off midway. It's pretty funny still.
Love it. Yeah.
It still works. So.
And she was also talking about how she saw the documentary on History Channel about Captain America. His whole story.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny.
I just had a couple things too. So as we were saying, Tatiana had a really good acting performance. She played the role really well. I think she really does a good job. I think if the show isn't good, I don't think it's going to be her fault. I think it's going to be the writers because she seemed to be pretty good. Mark Ruffalo too. He acted pretty well in this episode. So I will say I have a bad feeling it's going to fall off from here. I have a really bad feeling that end scene is going to be more related to how the rest of the series goes than the rest of that episode. I'm hoping it's not, but I just I have that bad feeling that that's going to be the case. So,
And just to be clear, you mean the last scene, not the end credit scene?
not the end credit, the last scene. Yeah, the end of the show. Yeah, where Titania comes in and ruins the episode. And then just about you can. Here's a reason why you can never trust reviews. Real quick too. So people are saying, the reviews were bad for it, yada, 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 yada. I'm like, oh, really? I would have expected them to be decent. Well, the reason the reviews are bad and the reason why you can't trust reviews is because 1/3 of the reviews are 1 stars they're just review bombs from people who are pissed off because they pretty much just hate women and don't want to see them a women-led role running a series. 30% of the reviews out there are 1 stars, and I'm sorry, it just wasn't a 1-star episode. There were review bombs before it even aired.
Yeah,
and then the other third of reviewers are going to be those who, no matter what, are going to praise anything female-led by Marvel, no matter what, or just Marvel in general. You're only going to get about 1/3 of the reviews that are actual unbiased, real opinions about what they just watched. So people are always saying, I got terrible reviews, I'm not going to watch it. And it's just like, that's a horrible standard to judge what you're going to watch.
Yeah. Dark Phoenix.
Yep. Never forget. Man of Steel is like 50%. Like, okay.
Dude. Yeah. That's
okay.
Cool. Yeah. The only thing that gives me hope is just Blonsky, Daredevil, the Sokovia Accords. There's a lot of like canon tie-ins. It's going to make it, at least it'll hopefully continue to feel important to the MCU.
Yeah. Yeah. Hoping so. I'm hoping I'm pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, I see this season being ups and downs. There's going to be some episodes where I really like, and there's going to be other episodes where I'm not going to be too invested in.
I would like to see her lose control and really rage out. I don't know if we're going to get that.
She might.
Yeah, it's a whole character.
I think she might.
To, at least once or twice,
She's going to break at some point. Like, this is a stressful new thing she's got to take on,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that about sums it up. I think we all liked it. Looking forward to see what the future brings here at this show. Let's give it a rating. Caleb, 1 out of 10, episode 1 of She-Hulk. What do you give it?
I'm going to give it a 7.1. It's just over a 7. I can't put it in the 6s just because I really did enjoy seeing Hulk. We haven't had a Hulk movie since the beginning. It was nice to get some time with him as almost the main character with her.
Mm-hmm.
And I enjoyed the comedy, not the action. Well, the action between Hulk and She-Hulk was cool.
It was fine, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I overall enjoyed it, so I'll give it a 7.1.
Wow, okay.
Cool, Dave?
I'm surprised I have a higher rating than Caleb. I get a 7.5. I maybe because my expectations were so low, but I just enjoyed it a lot more than I was expecting to. I will say my prediction for the rest of the season is going to be mid-6, but hopefully I'm wrong. But for this one, I thought it was a pretty good surprise. So 7.5.
Yeah, dude. The little nitpicks I had were so small. I give it an 8 for a little 30-minute episode. I liked it a lot. Yeah. The only thing I could have asked more for is, for a 30-minute episode, the little nitpicks I gave were my nitpicks, and the things I liked, I loved. It just felt like a really cool MCU chapter. Felt refreshing. It felt important. It felt fun to watch it, just like Phase 1 and Phase 2. Not that Phase 3 and Phase 4 had shitty movies. It just, it felt really cool, classic MCU style. So yeah. And I also agree with you for the future. I'm not as optimistic, but yeah. Daredevil, Sokovia Accords, Blonsky, Wong. There's good stuff to look forward to. We'll see. But I did really enjoy the episode.
Yeah.
Okay, well, while we're here, let's discuss our favorite fan properties. There's about 5 significant nerd properties that have kind of overtaken culture for the past 10 years at least. Marvel, DC, Game of Thrones, Star Wars, Lord of the Rings.
Yes,
all
sir.
right, so just real quick, not a huge explanation off the top of your head. Caleb, rank those 5 properties for us.
Okay, off the top. Now, Dave, don't be upset with my number 5 choice.
You son of a...
But it has to be Lord of the Rings for me. I do love the movies. We just talked about it in our couple episodes ago. Ultimate Lord of the Rings breakdown. Check it out.
Mm-hmm.
Get you ready for Rings of Power.
Yeah.
But just since it's only 3 movies and it came to me later in my life, it's number 5. And then number 4 is DC. Batman obviously puts it ahead of Lord of the Rings for me because I love Batman since a child, the Dark Knight trilogy. But at the same time, the whole DCEU and not a lot of connective tissue outside of the Dark Knight trilogy puts it at the 4th spot. Now, my number 3 and 2 choices were the hardest for me. But I think I'm going to have to go number 3, Marvel. Just because my number 2 choice is Game of Thrones. And just with the show and the books and, how it just took over my life for like 6 months almost. And I'm just so and waiting for House of Dragon to come out so bad. So it's slightly over Marvel just because of I feel like the books just put it over Marvel for me.
Okay.
And then obviously that leads to number 1, which is Star Wars, my first love, my true love. Just the prequels coming out at the perfect time when I'm 10, 12, 14 years old,
Yeah.
And just it's the best. So
it's Star Wars.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. Good explanations. Dave?
Okay. It pains me to say DC is number 5 for me. It really pains me to say because, again, Batman and Spider-Man were my 2 things growing up, had all their stuff. Still love Batman. He's probably still my favorite superhero. Actually, I'm pretty sure he's still my favorite superhero. But other than that, I just never was that into DC until recently. DC's got some good stuff, but number 5. Marvel at number 4. Marvel would have been lower back in the day, but the MCU and everything has just been incredible. Again, I'm kind of a more recent Marvel fan, so this is why this is where it's at. I was a Spider-Man fan growing up, loved him, but not necessarily all of Marvel. I didn't know anything about Captain America, Iron Man, Hulk, any of that stuff. So MCU popped it up over DC. Game of Thrones is my number 3 because of the pure quality. The show's incredible. I mean, it's just insane. The books are great. It's just amazing. Game of Thrones is what it is. But it couldn't top my top 2. And this, I'll explain this real quick. This is really freaking tough for me because it kind of goes back and forth depending on the time. But every time I watch Lord of the Rings, it puts it higher because the age when it came out that I loved Star Wars, but then Lord of the Rings came out and that was my favorite thing for a while. I mean, it just took over. And I've never loved 3 movies that much. Like I've never loved a complete trilogy like that much. It was just incredible. But honestly, Rings of Power is going to kind of be the deciding factor here because Star Wars is still coming out with really good stuff. Star Wars is also one of my first loves. My older brother got me into it, and it's been something I've obsessed about far too much since. But Rings of Power is kind of going to decide it. If it's not amazing, Star Wars is probably going to pop over it. But, yep, Lord of the Rings is my 1. Star Wars is my 2.
Hey, so are we including books and comics for these ratings, or are we just sticking with the movies?
Oh, I was including everything, like the property as a whole.
Just your fandom. Your fandom.
So
fandom for each property, yeah.
Yeah, whatever you love most.
Yeah, you have to consider how many comics I've read, and that's going to make my DC is going to go higher. And honestly, that makes Star Wars go higher. You know what I mean? Star Wars, if I couldn't include the novels, Star Wars would be a lot lower, but the novels really make it for me with Star Wars, especially because of all the drops we've had, all the bombs, you know what I mean, with the last trilogy and some of the shows.
Yeah.
Oh man, this is tough.
Things changed.
This is tentative, man. I mean, this is really tough. If it was right after Force Awakens,
we're gonna hold this against you one day.
Perfect.
Mine's probably gonna change at some point.
No, it's not.
I think Star Wars is my number. Oh, dude, it's so fucking hard. This is ridiculous.
Does it hurt? Does it hurt to say that Star Wars is lowest on your list, JD?
I don't know if it's that or Lord of the Rings, dude. All right, so Lord of the Rings is number 5 because those original. If I had to pick Lord of the Rings, if the best trilogy ever is probably Lord of the Rings, but The Hobbit ruined the overall fandom for me. That 3 movies kind of made it shit the bed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
If The Hobbit didn't happen, Lord of the Rings. I mean, there's never been such a fantastic trilogy. When it came out, watching it in theaters, the excitement, everything about it, the adventure, the action, like the scope. Oh, it's just such a good freaking trilogy. But yeah, The Hobbit ruined it. I'll have to put it at number 5. How's this going to work? It's like your life depends on you choosing correctly and making a good explanation.
All
All right.
Hey, don't worry. I'm just going to clip it and post it as a reel and criticize you real quick.
Oh, boy. All right. I think I'll just have to go with Star Wars as my number 4.
Okay.
Even though the novels are so good, though. But anyway, I absolutely love Star Wars. It's just the DC Comics puts it over because those comics are just amazing. All the Justice League, Green Lanterns, Jeff Johns' Green Lanterns run is one of my favorites ever. So Star Wars, and yeah, a lot of the bombs they made, and it goes down to poor planning, like the way they didn't plan out all their movies to be cohesive together. They could have done a lot better, and that would have made it rank higher. So, and that would leave DC to number 3, mostly because of the comics. Yeah. So just The Dark Knight's good. Zack Snyder Justice League is good. Some stuff is good. So that's number 3. Number 2. Now this is extremely freaking hard. And again, I would, Marvel's comics are like as good, or if not better than the movies. It's crazy, but you know what? Oh man, yeah, I'll have to go Game of Thrones 2. No, dude. Oh boy, Game of Thrones and Marvel. Marvel's so good, dude. It fits into our. It's such a engaging universe with the politics behind everything, the different worlds. They really can kind of like flirt with that Star Wars feel when they get out to Nova, Guardians of the Galaxy, the Shi'ar Empire, all that stuff. They could really flirt with that feeling. And everything on Earth, all the corrupt politics, the heroes, the conflict, the movies, the comics, it's all good. But Game of Thrones is so good, pound for pound, dude. Plus, it's rated R. It's on our level. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'll go Game of Thrones 2, Marvel 1. I'm sorry.
Final answer. Game of Thrones 2, Marvel 3, Lord of the Rings 1. All right. We hear you loud and clear, Jamie.
Hey.
Whatever. Pound for pound. All right. Pound for pound. Lord of the Rings. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, dude. That trilogy. Hobbit just ruined it, you know?
Yeah, I feel it. That's a very good point. All right.
Yeah, cool. You guys got anything else for today?
I'm just excited to get in the House of the Dragon, baby. Sunday night, 6 p.m. Daemon Targaryen. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It's time to wake the dragon.
Oh, no. All right, Viserys. Is that who that is? All right.
Who?
Well, that wraps it up. Viserys? That's Khaleesi's dude, right?
Yeah.
I thought you said Sirius. It's like, that's Harry Potter.
Darth Sirius. Thank you.
Harry Potter
Commissioner
fans are gonna hate
Gordon.
us. Harry Potter fans are going to hate us.
Oh, yeah. I haven't even seen them all. I'm just not a big wizard fan unless you're Gandalf. Yeah.
That's so withered.
Thank you for joining us here at Why So Sidious, a nerd podcast. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok at Why So Sidious Pod. Stay tuned for our Week in Geek on Wednesday, and our House of Dragon episodes will continue with She-Hulk and anything else nerd culture that's coming out. We'll see you next time.
I hated when Hulk said bruh.
Yeah, dude.